difficult part of my job is actually not doing the color analysis. I find it most difficult when a client receives their results and has an emotional reaction and they express that to me through email, or perhaps it might be through a Zoom appointment. I'm actually presenting tomorrow at AICI Canada in a meeting, and this actually is one of the topics on my agenda, dealing with client reactions to correct results. I'm posting about this once again because as my client volume has increased significantly, I see this situation all the time in Zoom and through emails. I received an email this morning from somebody who is obviously a true spring, who is in denial that they're a true spring, for instance. When you're signing up with a color analysis with me, you're getting results and consensus from 2 color analysis experts in the field. And so we're telling you what we saw in terms of our color analysis training and experience. And between us, we have decades of international client and teaching experience. Before enrolling in my color analysis service, I beg you to think through this sort of questioning to assess if my color analysis service is a fit for you. If I was to ballpark it and put, say, 1,000 of my past clients into a room and ask them to raise their hands on which ones were surprised at their results, I would say maybe 980 and over may be lifting their hand. Don't quote me on this number. It might be 960, but it's a really, really high number. In my experience, as people have spent time processing those results, they actually realize that they are the palette and they embrace the results and flourish wearing them and what have you. Some were extremely mad at me at first. For instance, I've posted recently about a client who had sent emails to the email box after receiving her warm spring results. She had platinum blonde, cool hair. She thought she was going to be a winter summer, and spent a couple months processing and realized that actually she was a warm spring when I met with her over Zoom, and was in progress of transitioning to her warm spring result. I've seen this situation perhaps even go through like years. For instance, someone might have received a true spring result from me years ago and now are finally embracing the palette. I really just, before enrolling in my service, I beg you to think through, if you were to receive a color analysis result that perhaps wasn't in your closet, perhaps, or perhaps you hated the color of the result. That's a very much an ego thing in many cases. Could you, in fact, handle that without support if you're signing up for a package that doesn't have post-analysis support? If you can't, then my advice would be my packages and color analysis services perhaps aren't a fit for you. I take the perspective of, I tell you what I see based on my color analysis training and experience, which may differ from your likes, dislikes, and emotional attachments. I hold my ground on what I see because in my experience, when I do that and people have taken the time they need to process, that they benefit in the longer term. All this to say, once again, is that most to all people that I send color analysis results to are surprised. I don't know why. It's hard to see ourselves without bias sometimes. There's a lot of misinformation on the internet about color analysis, but I send you results based on accredited color analysis training and experience, and I tell you what I see and I stick to that. And my service might not be a fit for you if you have some emotional attachments to color and extreme likes and dislikes, or really want to be a palette. The best color analysis client is people who are extremely open. Frankly, my favorite clients are people who know nothing about color analysis. If you know stuff about color analysis and still want to enroll in my service, my advice would be, please be open.